day 17 and 18. We're gonna do 2 days today, which means that I'm probably gonna have to do a day on the back of the 30 days for day 31 or something like that. But yesterday, I spent pretty much all day driving from Jay, Oklahoma at the Overland Show down to Hemp Hill, Texas, to this very awesome VHF and Up contest station. This weekend is the September VHF contest, ARRL contest, and I was invited up here by a friend of mine, Ryan, and he's like, if you really want to see a super station, you need to come up here. And I'm like, you know, I was at the Overland Show, kind of bad timing. I was like, maybe next time. And then I thought, wait a minute, 30 days of ham radio, this would be great content. And I'm really glad I came up here because this is awesome. You guys got to check this out. We're going to do some 6 meters, 2 meters, 220, 432, and 1296. 1296 megahertz, 1.2 gigahertz. We're going to do some FT8, some MSK, some JT65, some meteor scatter, and some EME, which is Earth, Moon, Earth. So we're going to bounce signals off the moon, and this is going to be a really cool time. Check this out. Ryan, now, you guys know this guy from Armalog. So I don't know how exactly, out of all the people you could have texted to come down here with you, I don't know why you chose me, but thank you.
Well, that makes two of us.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I was like, he invited me down here, and I'm like, well, I'm at an Overland Show. He's like, well, this is a super duper contest station. And I'm like, all right, talk me into it. It wasn't hard. So how many towers do we have here?
Oh, geez.
Like 8?
At least, yeah.
I mean, there's one right there that's not even being used.
Yeah, well, it used to be, and we moved that antenna down the hill.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
To get it away from the shack, to get it away from the rest of the 6 meter antennas.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to tour around and show everybody the antennas because there's 8 towers, but there's at least 2 to 3 antennas per tower. So let's take a look. All right. So let's start here. What do we got here?
Now, everything out here is VHF and above. This tower,
right.
The towers, we identify them by what's on the top.
Uh-huh.
And this is the 432. So this is about, I guess, 180 feet. And there's one Yagi up there now. There's supposed to be 3. I got 2 I got to repair and go back up there with.
Okay.
And then you come down the tower. We call those the left and right arrays.
Okay.
And if you take you draw a line like through Texas straight across to the west, you'd have the left array is Houston and the right array is Dallas. So this is a experimental antenna down here.
Okay. We were talking about that one a minute ago. I was out here with Will, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Will. Yeah. And I was like, because that looks like a 2 meter.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, we have an array like that up on the tall tower, which when we get to it, I'll point it out.
Okay. Now that one there is 6 meters, right?
Yeah, we call that the low 6.
Okay, so why do you have low and high antennas?
The biggest reason is because 6 meters takes advantage of some HF characteristics.
Okay.
Like ground gain and takeoff angle, but it also has characteristics with VHF. Mm-hmm. So that, for us at this station, we do a lot of meteor scatter, and that antenna we find to be better within 400 miles. And then outside of 400 miles, we consider the high 6.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that is, how many is that? 4?
That's 16.
16.
That's a 16 bay array for 432. That's a horizontal array for 70 centimeter EME. Now an EME tower doesn't have to be tall. It just has to get the antennas up off the ground, so if you walk out here in the middle of the night, you don't run face first into them.
Well, that's a good idea.
Which you could very easily do.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, but there is quite a bit of wind load, so it's got to be a robust tower.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's Roan 65, I believe that's Roan 65.
That's a 65,
yeah.
okay. All right. Okay. So these, so this one, and I guess that's the
vertically polarized 70 centimeter array.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're doing EME, you run into some Doppler shift issues, and you will transmit on horizontal and receive on vertical, or vice versa.
Right, okay. And these are pointing, you can't see it right now, but these are actually pointed at the moon.
Yeah, we're doing EME right now.
So, and these all move by themselves. I did a short clip earlier, these two towers, and that tower there, and that dish there, and then one in the back, right?
Yep, all of these towers will track the moon.
Right.
Or the sun, or whatever you tell to track.
Okay.
Because that's how we zero them during the day, is we zero them on the sun, because the sun's the loudest thing in the sky. So
right.
if you can find the center of the sun, and then you tell the computer, this is where my antenna is, it now knows where the sun is.
Okay.
So when you're ready to flip over to the moon at night, you just, push the button and off she goes.
So it centers on the sun, so it just...
because it's easy.
Through science, it just knows where the moon is.
Yeah, it's weird physics and stuff.
Yeah, right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably the biggest one in the yard, right?
Yes, yeah, probably. This is the 2-meter array, and this is, as you can see, it's quite large. Mm-hmm. In fact, the azimuth rotor on it is for propeller props. It's so
really?
big. Yeah.
Wow. And that's 2, 4, 6, 8 different Yagis there.
Yep. The physical specs escape me, but we'll just call it big.
Well, okay. 18 elements per Yagi, I just counted. I knew a guy one time with a 22 element Yagi.
That's good size.
Yeah. Now, okay, so this one here, that's got to be 432.
No, that's 222.
That's 220. Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's a heck of a 220 setup.
Yeah,
now
you can see it's cross-polarized, the elements.
Yes.
And it's the same thing as we were talking about on the 432.
Okay.
And at one time, it might still be, but at one time, this was the second largest 222 EME array on the planet. And I think you and I were both shocked at how many 222 EME contacts we've made.
Right, yeah. Yep. I mean, that's just something you don't hear together a lot, 222 and EME.
Right.
So, okay. Well, see, okay. So I'm trying to tell just by the length of the elements what bands they are. But from down here where we are, it looks like it's 440, but you get closer to it and those elements are a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. And then what's this one here?
That's 6 meters.
Okay.
The reason it's pointed off into the wild blue yonder is because we didn't use it.
Okay.
And we didn't use it because we were making contacts on meteor scatter and FT8 and phone. And
okay.
the exchange on EME is 60 seconds versus, phone is as fast as you can work them. And then, of course, FT8 being 15 seconds.
Sure.
And that's the same for scatter.
Okay. You're working like either Q65 or JT65.
Right.
Okay. Wow, this is quite the setup. And then, of course, the big dish here.
Yeah, that's the 1296 dish. That's the money maker. And what's great for this contest station to have this gem in our collection is almost every QSO you make is a unique grid. And in the VHF contesting world, grids are everything. QSOs are points, but unique grids are multipliers. And that's how you place high in your contests, is by getting multipliers.
Okay, now this tall tower here in front of, I guess it doesn't interfere. That dish is pointing right into those 3 towers there, basically.
Well, it does if they're trying to talk, of course.
Okay.
Because that dish has quite a bit of gain.
Right.
In fact, the 1296 is currently not transmitting because 6 meters is making contacts.
Oh, I see.
And 1296, we've already worked everybody we could work.
Okay.
But we're watching the scope in case somebody pops up.
Okay.
But that tower right behind it, again, we identify it by what's on top.
Right.
And that is the 222 terrestrial array. And there's 2 big beams up there.
Okay.
And down the tower, those are 6 meter arrays. The one on the right is pointing due north, and the one straight onto us is due east.
Okay.
And that's all switchable from inside.
So, okay, so you've got so that's 6 meters, and then you've got, obviously the 6 meter EME tower is understandable, but what is the purpose of having a rotatable 6 meter antenna plus these?
Well, the multiple antennas, it gives you good gain, but it's also faster. It's much faster to flip a switch to, say, maybe check for propagation.
I see.
Or if what happens a lot of times is other stations they'll have multiple stations. And if you might make him on 2 meters and he'll say, are you guys working 6?
Right.
So you can holler over at the 6 meter station and say, hey, we got, you know, station such and such,
Yeah.
and they're at 55 degrees. So
Okay.
he can come through here and probably pick the northeast array on that one, which we haven't covered that tower, but I guess we could do it now.
Sure, yeah.
The next tower over on our right, that's the 6, that's called the high 6. And they're all the same antennas going up, but coming down the tower, that's the northeast array. And that's a great array because they're so big compared to these other 6 meter Yagis, these end mount Yagis. These are full length ones. So there's quite a bit of gain there. And then in the very background now, if you look in the far back, that's where we started. That's the 432, but the one between that's just on the other side of the building, that's the 2 meter tower, and that's the tallest tower here. It's 200 feet.
Okay.
And it's got a pair of horizontal Yagis, and then above it, it has a pair of vertical Yagis. Because we do work a little bit of FM, you know, you can always get a couple QSOs. And then coming down the tower, you have another array. Those are the 2 meter. Just like the 432, it's the left and right, or the Houston and Dallas arrays.
Right, right.
And then coming all the way down is the west 6 meter array.
Okay.
And we're so close to the coast, there's really not a whole lot of stations south of us that participate. So we focus our efforts and where the operators are.
Right, yeah, okay. Do you see much, do you not see much VHF coming out of South America, for instance?
Yeah, we do, but it's so far away that most of that is going to be by EME. Yeah, it's kind of cool when you can do terrestrial VHF into Canada.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, you don't get to see that very much.
And the gentleman who built this is Marshall, K5QE, who went silent key just last year, unfortunately. But he had a DXCC on all the VHF bands.
Yeah.
6 meter, 2 meter, 220. I saw his DXCC on or no, it wasn't a DXCC.
No, it's
so worked all states. Worked all states.
But he has a DXCC on 2 meters.
On 2 meters, he has a DXCC, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then a worked all states on 220 on 1296. I don't remember if he had it on 900 or not.
900.
He did have 900 too. So insane. They have 2 stations for every band in this shack here. Almost 2 stations for every band. So they have one, that's a 6 meter station there, and that's the 1296 megahertz station there. And then this one on the left is 432, and this one is 2 meters, but these are only for EME. This one's 220, and it can do terrestrial or EME. This one's, this one's 2 meters and 432, just terrestrial. And the difference is which antennas they have hooked to each station. So these 2 meters and 70 centimeters here are the same bands as these 2, except these 2 are dedicated to EME, and these 2 are dedicated to terrestrial. So they do FT8 and MSK with this one. The 220 can go either direction. They've got multiple antennas that can be switched. And then the 1296, which is the dish outside that we saw a minute ago, the 1296 dish is primarily used for EME. I guess they could turn it, if they wanted to, they could do some terrestrial work with it. I'm not sure if they have any Yagi antennas up or if it's just the dish, but this is their bread and butter for the station, according to what Ryan told me, because they always win contests with that one. No, that's the same station. Okay.
Yeah.
So he heard you.
Oh,
he's sending you a report.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see right here, see those little dots?
Yep.
That's him.
What's his signal? A minus 18? You probably won't be able to hear that. But
Audibly, you mean?
Audibly. But
Yeah.
you can try.
That's all right. I can see it on the screen, so.
Yeah.
That's the 1.2 gigahertz dish, or 1296 megahertz, as they like to call it, and it tracks the moon. It follows the moon. So, guess where the moon is right now? That's the moon right there, whether you can see it or not. That one's the big 2 meter array right there. All of these are tracking the moon. They're all pointed at the moon right now. This big one in the front's 2 meters. That one in the back, that's got to be 6 meters because it's got the larger elements, and that's got to be 432 right there. I need one of these in the backyard. We just worked somebody on 6 meter meteor scatter on MSK 144. Prior to 10 minutes ago, I didn't even know that was a thing. I've certainly never done MSK before. The only thing I've ever done.
That's the guy you got already.
Yeah, he sent me another RRR.
Oh, he sent him back here.
So I just want to make sure that he gets our 73 back. It should be fine.
You're sending him 73. Will he send an acknowledgement to that?
Nope.
Okay.
He will just kind of quit.
Right, yeah. That's how FT8 is too.
Now,
So
sometimes they will send a 73 if the band conditions are good.
Okay.
But if they're not good, you can just say, I've received your RRR, that's good enough.
okay. A lot of times I'll send 73 to somebody and they'll keep calling me
Yeah.
with their grid, and I'm like, "You're already in my logbook." KK4H, is that MA?
Mike Alpha.
Mike Alpha, yeah. Kilo 4 Mike Alpha. Okay.
Bouncing radio signals off rocks.
Off of rocks. Rocks in outer space, right?
Rocks coming through the atmosphere.
Yeah.
In the atmosphere with that.
They're in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so that rock comes through the ionosphere and leaves an ionization trail.
Right. Okay. That
And
makes
that's what
sense.
we're bouncing the radio signal off.
The actual trail.
The actual trail.
Gotcha.
Yep. See, that's one right there. You see that?
Yeah, that little
That's
blip right there.
That's
yeah.
a return.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Nice.
That's all you're going to see for a signal here most of the time.
Because it's 432.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now compare that to looking at this over here at 1296.
Oh yeah. On the 1296 there.
And you can even hear his signal. Which,
That musical noise.
Yep. That's a big station.
Yeah. Look at that waterfall. Wow. Is it Germany? Okay. DM2 CFH.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
This one's going to work just like FT8 as well. You know, as far as the verbiage goes, the Roger, Roger, Roger.
Yeah.
But mine's on a 60-second cycle. 1296 is on a 30-second cycle. And again, you know, that signal is just, it's
Not
hardly
really,
even
yeah.
there.
Where's Oscar Zulu?
No idea. Sure. I wonder if we have a little device in our pocket that can tell us. Belgium?
Belgium? Okay.
All right.
It's Belgium. Awesome.
And I'll look at this guy's call, and I'll go into the chat room, and I'll see if he's even in there. Because a lot of times, they're not even in there.
No.
Or he's in a different chat room from ours. But you really can't do much in a chat room other than announce you're calling CQ. You can't confirm that you're going to
Right.
queue.
I am working 2-meter EME right now. EME is Earth, Moon, Earth. We send a signal from Earth because that's where we're at. For those who didn't know, we're on planet Earth. We send a signal to the moon, it bounces off the moon and lands somewhere else on planet Earth, and we work that station. The last station I worked was WB0QQS. Before that was SQ3GJS. Sierra Quebec 3 Golf Juliet Sierra. Actually, somebody else worked that. We're taking turns sitting down here at the console. So we're calling CQ K5N, which is the call sign they've registered for this station, for all of these stations, this club. And we're using an ICOM 756 Pro 2. Every station has the same radio, and then every station has a different transverter. This is a transverter made by Down East Microwave, made in USA transverters. So when I saw that yesterday when I got here, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. They're pretty reasonably priced, actually. And they'll make them for you to work on whatever frequency you want. They make it for multiple bands, including microwave. We'll have to check one of those out. That's the 220 station right there. They're doing 220 EME on that. They've only made like 4 contacts all night. But 220 EME, that's pretty cool. Pretty much every station has a Communication Amplifiers LLC amp. This one's for 2 meters, obviously. There's one for 220 over there. And this one right next to me is the 70 centimeter band, 432, which it hadn't seen much activity in the last hour or two, so they kind of walked away from it for the moment. They're working other bands. That one in the corner right there, that is 1.2 gigahertz EME that they're working right now with that big, huge dish that's outside. So this is something definitely new for me. 30 years as a ham radio operator, I've never worked EME. So this has been and we're working JT65 is the mode here. Some of these are working Q65. This one's JT65. And these 2 stations over here are doing FT8 earlier. CQ contest, Kilo 5 November, from Echo Mike 31, Kilo 5 November contest. Okay, I hear the LLL. What's the prefix? Okay, I copy K5 Lima 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 from Echo Mike 10 QSL. Roger, Roger. My grid is Echo Mike 31, Echo Mike 31. Negative, negative, 31, 31, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. Oh yeah, that's much better, much better. You are a loud 5-9 right there from Echo Mike 31.
SL 31, thank you much for the new grid. You have other bands running too, over?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. We're pretty much on all bands. We got a 222 and a 432 station going right now.
Ready to go, 222, 432, 902, 1296, if you got them, over.
Okay, we do not have 902, but we have the other ones. Somebody's going to sit down at 222 right now. Where are you at?
Okay, 222.1, over.
You tell me where are you at. We were calling on digital, but we're switching over to sideband right now.
Yeah, Roger. I do not. I'm not running digital, so if you want to hang around and wait and try for a different band or something like that, you name it, over.
Yeah, we're switching to sideband now. Switching the 222 station to sideband right now. So give us just 1 minute. CQ contest. Kilo 5 November from Echo Mike 31. I hear somebody in the noise. Try it again. Is it November 5 Alpha Uniform? Okay, November 5 Alpha Uniform. I show you at Echo Mike 22. We are Echo Mike 31 QSL. Roger, Roger, Roger. Thank you for the contact, 73. All right, that was a fun event. Wow, what an awesome superstation. Special thanks to Ryan, Randy, and all the rest of the guys for allowing me to come out to that station. I hope maybe I can visit again someday when there's another VHF contest going on, but that was fun. That was fun to see all that. Today's donations, as of today, actually this is last night, as of last night, there was $4,290 raised total. So it's about $235 yesterday and $235 the day before. So this is actually a total of 2 days from the last time I read donations. Notes from donations this time. KC9 USB, its POTA Time channel, in honor of all the teachers who have never got the credit they deserve, especially the ones who put up with me. So go check out KC9 USB POTA Time channel. In memory of KO4JZI, Silent K, Jason Bryant. Okay, here's one. In memory of Charlie Kirk. That was welcomed. Thank you for whoever donated that. That one was not signed, but thank you for that. And the last one is from my friend Romy, N8WWR, in honor of the Wotar Simplex DFW 145.720 WiresX analog node 452706. Wotar is the, I forget what that stands for. It's a simplex frequency that we use around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I believe it originally started around White Rock Lake. Yeah, I'm going to have to ask him what that stands for. Wotar. WOTAR simplex in DFW, which is on 145.72. When I'm driving around the DFW area, I'm usually monitoring the 442.900 repeater in Euless, and I have 145.72 on the other side of my radio monitoring the DFW simplex frequency that's used quite often. And apparently you can connect to it with a WiresX node, which is 452706 is the node number. I've never tried that, but I have heard people connect to it on that. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you're in the North Texas area, tune over to 145.72 and talk to us on simplex. 73 guys, thanks for the donations, and we'll see you tomorrow.